Anyway, this is Archie's Aroma podcast. And today I want to talk about what's good to talk about. Am I in frame? Oh, not quite. I don't know how to fix this. Wait. I'll just zoom out. Thanks for your patience, guys. I hope you don't mind waiting as I work out how talking works. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. That's a cool realization that I've had. I like just starting this podcast, by the way, just like, alright, what's in there? I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, but then subconsciously, there was something there, and it's just like, my brain's got to search for it. I'm not even thinking about what I'm about to say right now, but it's just like I know how to talk. Like driving a car, it just comes. So that wasn't even meant to be about talking, but I managed to find a way to make it about talking. This is amazing. I don't know if I'm supposed to be speaking this loud like this. I just realized that maybe that's a bit loud, but I want to be heard. Yeah, okay. My voice, my mouth was kind of hurting doing that. I feel like the camera's really far away. I'm going to bring it a bit closer. Okay, so the revelation that I've had, right? Get this. I'm not quite sure what it is yet, but I'll remember. Is that I should work out how tripods work. Maybe I should set up the shot before I start recording. What do you think I am? I don't know. I don't know. What do you think I am? That looks better, doesn't it? I'll just chill here. Okay, I'll turn this around. No, actually, I kind of didn't mind that having that. Because now I can see that we're recording. It's good. Alright, I think this is going well. So the revelation that I've had is that talking, right, it only gets awkward when you make it awkward. And you make it awkward when you're trying to make it not awkward. Does that make sense? I think I just counteracted what I just said. Hey, alright, so it only gets like awkies when you label it as awkies because you're judging how awkward it is. When you could just be there to have a conversation without any agenda of trying to have a good conversation. You're just there, not seeking approval or validation in trying to have a good conversation. There's no reason you need to have a good conversation. Even if you're trying to get something out of someone, or you were in like a video game, you had a side quest, or a little box you had to tick, have a good conversation. Even if you were trying to do that, it's not like it would get awkward. Because you have to get some information out of them. It gets awkward when you're searching for validation and you're like scared of it going bad. And you're not you. That's where the advice, just be yourself, comes from. I'm gonna have to turn this around. It's kind of freaking me out a bit. It's making me feel like I have to keep talking here. But I'm just gonna see what happens. You know, I realize so much barrier to doing these podcasts. I'm like, oh God, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about right now. And even if I did, I would be like, oh God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to say it all well and right and stuff. Man, that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So I'm just talking. If it goes for longer than 5 minutes, even if it doesn't go for 5 minutes, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I did it. All right, we'll come back next week, and it's not really about. It's about getting this repetition skill of talking out. Yeah, you can probably tell I need that a bit. My God, my mouth is hurting. I'm opening my mouth so wide and stuff. Yeah, so I just had a little lapse where I just thought back to a really sad memory. It wasn't really a memory, it's more just like, do you guys get that? Do you guys get emotions? I feel like emotions only come from the Buddhist thing of having like a self, being like selfish. thinking of the world as from the view of you that you need to serve and stuff. Otherwise, you wouldn't have emotions because everything would just be going well. And by things going well, it doesn't mean that they would be going like you'd be a millionaire and stuff. Like nothing would go bad in your life. It's just that stuff going bad in your life is also the best case scenario, because there's only one way it could have turned out, and that's the way that it did turn out. The only way it could turn out is the way it turned out. It's like no point crying over spilt milk and all those phrases and stuff. It's like it's happened. It happened, right? So yeah, that's where emotions come from, I feel like. So that's why I was about to say ingenuine, and then I was like, actually, I think illusion is better. What are they? Are they ingenuine? Yeah, they are ingenuine. Because they're not... You think they're genuine. You believe they're genuine. You wholeheartedly believe they're genuine, but they are ingenuine to yourself. You're being ingenuine to yourself when you're... Not on purpose, but it's just ingenuine to yourself to be emotional, because you're looking at the world through like a point of view of being selfish. And not that you are selfish, I'm just trying to explain like a concept of, it's like Buddhist, or it's not really Buddhist, it's like spiritual, but it's not like blah blah blah, it's real like science stuff, sort of. Alright, I'm trying to have this concept of a self. You know, there's like, come on, surely you guys know what a self is? Yourself. Obviously you have a self, alright? Your thoughts processing, I hope so. So you have like someone behind your eyes looking out, right, so you, right? Whatever you is, that's what I'm talking about. If you just like be in the moment, that's a good explanation, right? I've got it, guys. If you just be in the moment, right? You're not thinking about... Now what's in the zone? I think that's just in the moment, wouldn't you say? Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, so in the moment, yeah, we'll just go with in the moment. You don't have an identity or anything other than the right now, right? You're not thinking, you're not off in your thoughts about this stuff. You're just in the moment there, right? And you don't really have any emotions that aren't helpful. Right? Maybe you're in the moment and you're angry. A bit angry and you're just like, oh God, I need you to go away. Big scary, but it's like, you're not getting angry when you don't want to get angry, I guess. Because there's no like, well, you're paying attention, so your body, your mind just like sort of knows what to do. Are you following? Because I'm about to not follow what I'm saying. Let's try this from a new end, right? From a new means, and it's going to begin with me taking my jumper off. Okay. This fire is quite warm, so I'm just going to do this podcast until I get too hot. And then maybe I should evaluate how good I am at podcasting. Like, does a podcast have any limits and stuff? Oh, damn, I look like a 2000s boy. I swear I look way better on camera than I do in real life. Right now. Nice. Not bad. Yeah, no. It's also known as ego. self or this thing that stops you from being in the moment. You don't have any ego when you're in the moment, just having fun, basically. You be very selfless as well. I think they're pretty connected. I was going to talk about how to talk, wasn't I? Yeah. Alright, so basically, the way to talk is not to worry about talking. Not to worry about what you should think. The way you should come to it, right, is just don't have any concerns about it. Just be happy with the moment, right? You just be like, alright, I'm here. And then you just do that for the rest of your life. It's just, I'm here, etc., etc. You just, I'm here, and you never finish that sentence. It's just, I'm here. And you just like, you're just always in the moment. And if you're always in the moment, you're never dwelling. And it's pretty straightforward to get into the moment. All you have to do is just resolve to just forget about everything else. Just like, be like, oh, I'm not going to worry about it. Surely, if you think about it, it's really easy to just not worry about it. Not worry about it. Just let it go and just be here in the moment. Just relax into the way that everything is, right? Just sit with it. You don't need to change it. You don't need to worry about making it some other way, right? You don't need it. It's really easy. But I feel like, personally, the only reason I haven't done that in the past, and a lot of the time I'll forget, I'll just forget to be mindful and be like, yes, the present. Yes, it's just happening. What can I do within this? And then you get a bit of a burst of usually energy because you're like, oh, what can I do now? This is just what's going to make me happy. Or yes, usually there's always something, basically. Or maybe no, maybe I've got this pain. Oh, well, the thing that's going to make me happy is happiest is just, because happy isn't like a happy, not happy, it's a spectrum. So the thing that's going to be the thing to bring happiness into my life is to just be here with the pain of a throbbing ache or whatever. And when you can just resolve to be there with the whatever it is, the pain or the whole experience, right? That's what makes you happy, because you're not dwelling on it. If you're dwelling on it or thinking into the future, it's two sides of the same coin, worrying about it, that's the only problem, really, is that you think there's a problem. You believe that there's a problem because, and then this believing, this worrying is literally all yourself is. Yourself is very unnecessary. It's unnecessary because it's not real. It's just basically getting distracted in your thoughts. Yeah. If you think about it, when you're in the moment, you don't really have a feeling of a self. You just have, running around experience. Yay. You don't even have yay. You just have. You know what I mean? You just have. It's like that's just sort of what it feels like. Or like if you're like more laid back. So you just chill in it. Yeah, because when you just chill in it, you don't really have this. All yourself is just this concern where you're fitting into the world, basically. When the world is already just there, when you're going, when you're doing that, where are you in the world? Well, you're wherever the hell you are. You can't be anywhere else, alright? You're there, alright? You're already born. Just be grateful that you're alive right now. That's all you can do, right? And then everything else just happens, You don't even have to worry about achieving stuff, because you're already gonna like achieve stuff anyway. And it's not like you're gonna achieve less. You're actually gonna achieve more because you're not worrying. And when you just let your body achieve stuff, right? Let your mind just already do the achieving thing. It's not gonna stay in bed all day just because you're like, oh, I'm in the moment. No, it's still going to be exactly the same, right? It's just that you're not worrying because your mind isn't the thing that's it's not your mind. Of course, your mind. It's not your thinking that. It's not thinking that gets you to do stuff. You can't even control that, really. You don't summon thoughts. You can't summon thoughts. You go. What are you even doing there? What is this? You're not doing any you're not like bicep curling. I'm doing like the Jedi mind trick, by the way, and you're just like people think that they summon thoughts by like doing Jedi mind tricks on themselves. No, it's just arising as everything else does. It's not you. You can just be in the moment, just let it be. And now I'm just getting a little bit distracted by thoughts. Just now I'm just like, oh God, thoughts. And then my first usually call to action is to be like, be mindful of the thoughts. See them as just thoughts, and then I'm seeing the thoughts as another thought. It's sort of still the same thing, I feel like. So I feel like a more powerful thing is just to let it be. You just be as you already are, as you are, and you just chunga in. Alright, and now how this brings me back to talking, right, just to people, is that you just chunga through the conversation. It doesn't need to be any way at all. You just chunga, hoo, 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 hoo. And then when it doesn't need to be any way at all, you can be there for the other person, and you can listen to them, and you can pay attention to how they're feeling, and that's emotional intelligence. I just kind of realized that myself. That's amazing. Because it doesn't need to go anyway for you. You don't even care about them most of the time. You're just like, oh, this doesn't go well for me. Think about how powerful it would be just to be like, this is going to go well for you. And I'm going to make you comfortable, and I'm going to pay attention to you. And that's so freeing on your mind. Just to be like, that's alright. I don't mind how this conversation goes for me. Let's just have a conversation. Let's show that, yeah, it's cool. Sick. Awesome. Yeah. Alright. Conversation's dying. It's alright. It doesn't matter. We can have a silence now, and then it can rise naturally as it needs to rise. There's nothing wrong with silence. Anxiety sees science. Anxiety comes from silence because apparently silence is a problem. But why is silence a problem? Because that's a sign of a bad conversation. But bad conversation isn't a thing that exists. It's just the peaks and the rising and the falling of the conversation. It's not. Rising and falling isn't a bad thing. It's like a roller coaster. There's no bad point of the roller coaster. It's just the roller coaster. Roller coaster's fun the whole way through. It's just a rising and a falling. It's just a slightly different experience. You can just be there. Just let it all happen. Don't try and resist the thought, like being lost in the thoughts of yourself when they happen, and being lost in the emotions, like when they happen. I've had lots of emotions of anger lately, and I've been really, oh God, I gotta stop being angry right now. This sucks. Oh God. And then what happens, instead of getting out of the anger, I go, oh God. And oh God. Yeah, man, you get what I mean? But what I feel like I would want to do in that situation is to actually recognize, once I recognize that there's anger, right? So I'm not like completely consumed by it. I've realized that I'm angry. I've remembered the fact that, well, I'm angry, alright. I've realized it usually happens straight away for me. Usually, sometimes it'll take like a minute. And I'll be like, oh God, heck you, family. No way. Usually it only happens with family, really. Or like if I'm really angry. And you sort of just like, yeah. But like, yeah, that's unnecessary in itself. You can just, anyway, you realize that you're angry, and then there's anger, and then you can just live your life with the anger in your system. And now what would a person with anger in their system do? Alright, now remember that people don't usually I don't want to be angry, you don't want to be angry, right? So what would you do? You would do something that would make you actually happy. That would actually improve the situation. You just be as the anger. You don't try and just get rid of the anger. You don't try and do a little spell on it. You'll be like, oh God, why am I angry? And expect it to go away. It's not gonna evaporate, abracadabra. Who do you think you are, Mr. Harry Potter? Eh? No, you're not a wizard, alright? You're just a bit angry. Alright? You're not a wizard. So, you're just a bit angry or a bit sad, and you just gotta do things as a sad person. It's like accepting it and just like not moving on. It's just still being alive. You know, it's not even moving with it. It's just like, oh, I never really left it. You know, I'm not really moving on from it. It's still here. And it's not like, no, it's gone. It's sort of just like, it's a spectrum of it coming and going. It rises and it passes and it goes away. Everything changes, you know. Everything does change, you know. If you look at the ocean, you can see how none of it stays the same ever. It's always tides and stuff, you know. And gradually it erodes into the earth and stuff. Never stays the same. It's always washy, bushy. Ooh. It just sounds like that, yeah. You just be there and you let it happen and then maybe let's say you can't do anything about it. Back to what I was saying earlier. You can always do something about it. And maybe what you can do about it is nothing. But anger only really exists, or like emotions, I'm using anger as an example, to tell you that something's wrong. That you should do something. It's like a cry for help. If you're crying as a baby, you want your parents to come help you. You know, your mum is like, oh, you want food? Oh, you can have some food. You're a bit sad. Or you want a little bit of heat? You're a bit cold. It's because you want something, right? So, and this is where like it's like a helpful emotion or not, right? So, if it's not helpful, it will go away, and I'll explain. I'll explain that why. Explain why that is now. You only have the emotion, right? To help get something, right? To tell you that you should be some other way. You're angry because someone's doing something to you and you don't want them to do that, right? But the reality of the situation is that they're doing that to you. But your reality is that they wouldn't do that to you, and you want to cast a spell and go like, go away! And it doesn't work, so you go, go away! And it doesn't work, they're crying anyway. But basically you want to do a spell and have your reality go. Because you want your anger to go away. You're just like, oh, I want to be back in calm. It doesn't work. And you're still angry. And it's like, maybe you get more angry. It's not going to work. What the thing is to do is just instantly accept the way that things are. Like always, it's like always be present, right? So you always accept it. You don't even need to accept it if you're present, right? Because it's just the way things are. It's a given. Yeah, it's a given. I like that. I really like that. And then you go forth as an angry person, and you deal with this person. Say my dog, he made me angry. I'm like, shut up. I'm trying to do your homework here. What are you doing? Go away. And I'm just like, that's a spell to try and get rid of this annoyance, right? And try and have me be in a good state of mind. It's like, and it doesn't work. Once you accept it, the reality, you live as the person that you are, and you're not trying to deny it. You're not in Buddhist terms they would say you're not attached to you don't have these attachments. You're not clinging. Yeah, you're not clinging to being some way that you're not, right? You're not trying to like change experience, and that's misleading. But they do say you're not trying to like change the contents of consciousness instantly. But I think you actually do want to change the contents of consciousness, just not instantly. You just want to be open to then change the contents of consciousness to like, just as like a wise decision, a wise move to then be there, right? Anger's shown you. Dog annoying. That's the anger. There's a little and then you go, alright, let's go for a walk. And you get back, and then the dog goes to sleep. And then you feel good, generally, because you did the thing that was a good idea. And that's just sort of beside the point, and then you actually did the best thing that you could have done. The best possible outcome was that the dog went for a walk, and now the dog's asleep, and now you can concentrate. That's the best possible outcome. This other outcome that you wish were there, that you're clinging to, of the dog never existing right now, is not possible, right? It's not reality. It's this reality that you're clinging to, and you're trying to just get rid of this anger. You're just like, this shouldn't apply to me. What the hell, man? I'm supposed to have a good life. That's sort of the concept of self. Yep, that's the concept of self. And how this applies to talking to people is that when you apply the same principle of just being there as you are, it's completely fine. You deserve to be happy. Just let yourself be as you are. You'll generally end up being happy with that, alright? You will end up being happy with that. You let yourself be as you are, and then you let the other person be as you are. You see them as just another soul right there, and then another being. I like the word soul, right? And who doesn't? A soul is just innately lovable. There's just something about a soul that you can see them and you'd be like, to the whole universe, when you're not worried about how they're affecting you, how can you not love them? Because they're not affecting you. They're not affecting you. You would love them because they're a good person nonetheless, because they're not doing anything bad to you. They're only doing good to you if you're not affected by them, right? Because you're not affected by them because you're in the moment, because you're instantly in the moment when you just accept as you are. You just resolve to be as you are, right? You be as the angered person generally, but on the spectrum of like a slippery dip, you know, sort of like a alright, spectrum is better. And you do that, and you can be with the person. Right, so you're anxious. Just be a bit anxious for a little bit. Just don't worry about the anxiety. It's just a thing that happens. It's just appearing, alright? It's nothing special about it, just just anxious, right? I'm just here, I'm just anxious. There's nothing special about it, right? You don't need to give it meaning. If you give it meaning, that's when you start to fight it, right? That's what people say. I think it took me a long time to work out what the hell they meant. Don't fight it. I'm like, what do you mean? But I'm watching this YouTube video on how to get rid of anxiety because I don't want anxiety and I'm fighting it. What do you mean? And I never got past that. Yeah, well. And yeah, I don't know why I said the end then. I think I had something else to say. Notice how I'm not really stuttering much as I'm talking into this camera. It's because it's not really a person. I'm not like at all being like, oh, I got this conversation to go well. No, I'm just here. I'm not focused on how I'm being perceived. I'm not self-concerned. I'm not looking for validation. That's not something that matters because myself is just thinking, right? If you see it, right, you only really have your five senses, and everything that's just coming up. You don't have a long history of stuff. You just have the now. You have the now, yeah? Which is the now is really awesome, by the way. There's always something to love about the now, even if it's on the spectrum of enjoyment, kind of low down on the spectrum. You can actually see it as the best possible scenario, and once you do that, once you let yourself see it as the best possible scenario, oh my god, that just clicked for me just then, and I'm so happy right now. To see that as the best possible scenario. Best case scenario is the scenario you have right now, because that's the now, and that's how it was always going to turn out. This is how it's been destined, right? Since the beginning of time, this is what was gonna happen. You can see it as the best thing ever. Because it is the best thing ever. Ever is right now. Ever is actually right now. Oh my god. Ever. Forever. You know how you don't have any experience of after death or before you were born? You only have ever. So really, right now is forever. Everything is forever. But it doesn't last. Nothing lasts forever. But it is always ever. Ever present. It's a good way of saying it. I wonder if I was to show this podcast to my friends, my girlfriend. I haven't shown this to anyone, right? No one that I know watches this. I wonder if I would talk differently. I wonder if I could be mindful enough to just talk the way I am now. I wonder. It would be quite a challenge, actually. Like a good challenge, like to not seek the validation. Yeah, just to let myself be myself. It's not that like anything I'm saying here is like inappropriate to tell my friends. It's not like I'm talking about my asshole. Dang it, I can't tell them now. Anyway, it's not like I'm doing anything inappropriate that is not appropriate to say in social gatherings. Like, I'm not talking smack about people, right? There's no reason. There's nothing I'm hiding, is what I'm saying. The only thing that I'm hiding is what I think I'm hiding, which needs not be anything. So yeah, I can be free to let people know that I have a podcast. And I'm not hiding anything. I can just be me, as me, wonderful, beautiful me. Yeah, I am beautiful. And that's honesty right there. There's nothing wrong with the way that you are. In fact, there's everything right about it. Ever. Part of everything, ever. Everything. Forever, ever, the ever. Ever present is everything that's right about right now. And that's my guide for talking to people, guys. That's how I recommend talking to them. So, like, subscribe. Don't worry about it.